Hi guys, welcome back to more of For All Mankind, episode 8 coming up. This is a bit of a longer one, it's about an hour and 10 minutes, just giving you a heads up. So Tracy successfully flew them to the Russian site to reclaim it. Everyone on the back, armed, and waiting to see more of what comes of that, because that was right, the clip that we got at the end as to how they accomplished it. We've not seen any Russian presence. However, the whole episode centered around the plane being shot down. Tom's gone. Ellen's temporary administrator. I don't know how temporary that's actually going to be, but it's come at a point where she was just about to make a significant change in her life and possibly leave NASA, because she felt as though, one, that the kind of derailed and the Mars thing is a back burner, and the more the military is becoming involved, and then this happens on top of the fact that she was going to quit for personal reasons. I'm not sure she now should. So we'll have to see what happens from there. Everything has now been... Well, everyone's been returned to their rightful place. The Russians have gone home. Our astronauts are back, or on their way back, after all of that happening. So let's see where we go. Oh, and Karen has sold the bar and made the right choice of going home to her husband at the end there. Right, let's get on with it. This is a long one. Episode 8.
Soviet activity around Zvezda is proceeding normally.
There's also been no increase in military activity in Earth's orbit.
Then I'd say our little operation was a success.
Yes, sir.
There's still the matter of the Apollo-Soyuz mission.
Yes.
What do you think, Ellen? Should we proceed or cancel the mission?
We still have the moral high ground. Andropov wants to slap it away. Let him.
Let him.
Let everyone see who's
We've
working
done
for
nothing
war
wrong
and who's
here.
working for peace.
My feeling exactly. I'd
Meaning?
like to officially nominate you to the Senate as the new permanent administrator of NASA.
Told you.
Well, sir, that's quite an honor.
Knew that was
I'm
coming.
not sure what to say.
Your country
Yes.
needs you, Ellen. But take your time and think it over.
Congratulations.
Wow.
I knew it was coming. You can't leave now.
I would just like to think it over, that's all.
Think what over, Ellen?
You don't get to think it
This is
over.
our
He's
ticket
just
to
appointed
Mars.
you.
With you in the cabinet, it'll become a priority again.
She's right. President loves his astronauts. He'll listen to you on space policy more than anyone else.
Yeah, you will.
Maybe.
You could probably
I'll think about
do things that Tom wasn't able to do. Well, it wasn't really a hint. She
Emma?
just fucking told him.
Reach out to Sergei Nikolov.
Yeah.
He and his team need to get back here as soon as possible to finalize preparations.
I mean, he's been trying his absolute best to be able to cope with this. I congratulated him on recognizing he had a problem and trying to deal with it. Wondering in your own mind, having the confidence, will I cope with this? Will I break? There comes the anxiety.
I'll take it from here.
Yes, sir.
Ah, Jesus, Ed. Don't you got anything better to do than to
Really?
come all the way down to Florida just to screw up my launch?
I want to take one last look at these old shuttles before my Pathfinder make them all obsolete. Listen to the big kids up front. Don't touch anything. You'll be just fine.
Couldn't have done it without you.
You've done quite a lot of it yourself. It all isn't for nothing. Because once you go up there, you're not just responsible for you. If you lose it up there, part of a team. He needs this. We need this with where we currently are in the show. It will never just be standard procedure, will it? Now, it's always a big thing. It must be an awesome but absolutely terrifying thing to do at the same time. And here's to you. All right then.
You have what we call normal tension glaucoma. It's a rare condition. No one knows exactly what causes it. Or there could be other conditions that have impaired circulation.
Like radiation?
Possibly. I don't know of any studies looking at that as a cause.
No, why would they?
And I assume you have not had an exam by the flight surgeon at NASA.
Could you just tell me about the treatment?
Well, the treatment to slow down the loss of vision would probably entail prescription eye drops. We're talking about slowing down the deterioration of your vision,
You're not gonna...
not stopping it,
Yeah,
and
you're not...
certainly not reversing it.
No, you're not gonna...
I'm sorry, so you're saying that you want to cut open my eyeballs, but that's not going to fix it?
There's no cure.
I'm very sorry, Miss Cobb. Glaucoma is not curable, and ultimately permanent blindness.
That's in your future.
Thank you, Doc.
You just ruined my
The
life.
flight surgeons are pretty good. They're not going to miss this.
Now, we are going to install a battery of 4 Phoenix missiles in Pathfinder's cargo bay. Now, the space variant of the AIM-54C has been in development for several years at Vandenberg.
It's been decided that this will henceforth be a joint mission between NASA and the Department of Defense.
There will be a live-fire exercise to demonstrate the system.
Of course there will.
Now, your targets will be a series of drones launched into low Earth orbit.
Pathfinder is not a warship.
But we're packed with missiles and shooting things out of the sky. So in theory, these same missiles could be used for offensive purposes.
She's asking the right
Am
questions.
I right?
That's not in the mission plan.
Come out with it.
The president offered to make me NASA administrator.
Aren't you already doing that?
Permanently.
No. Really think she can
Wow.
say no to that?
That's amazing. Ellen, be a part of Reagan's cabinet.
You make it sound like you want me to take it.
No, it's just... Isn't this everything you always wanted? You would be in charge of NASA. You could finally get to Mars.
Hey, you're what I want.
I can't believe she's actually going to throw that away. I would have, like, I can't let you do this because of me. I'm hoping Gordo was so focused on the task at hand that a busy mind is a focused mind, thinking of anything else. But I really wish you'd stop showing this dude red lights. I never thought he would be up here again, and I don't think he did either. I'd love the opportunity, I just don't want... I would want what's entailed to get there. Ah, that was nice.
This place must seem huge compared to the last time you were here.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, didn't have a lot of that room to walk around, that's for sure. So, where am I bunking now?
I don't know how you guys did it, man. All that time out
Can
of
you
my
please shut
gourd.
the fuck up? We don't need to go back over this. I know you're just...
Right.
I know what
sorry,
he's doing. You're hero worshipping. I know.
prime
But
spot. One of the Marines, a little bit edgy, but he's right over here, and across from him is where your ex is, hot racking.
great.
Where is she anyway?
Oh, she's out with the Marines. They've been doing EVAs by the reactor all week. Very top secret stuff.
With the Marines. Tracy.
Guy's not getting the hang of it.
Yeah, well.
No, she's
a tricky beast.
She stepped in.
Holy shit, that's right. You flew the original.
Mechanisms, avionics, life support, but the inter-team review
She
doesn't
knows more
happen
about this
until
guy now.
after each team has completed their preliminary design.
Standard procedure.
Yes, I'm an engineer, and I'm looking at a bad design.
Oh, that's rich. Literally in diapers.
Yeah, well, now she's improving
Maybe you
it.
should have worn diapers during Gemini.
Oh, she didn't do that.
Out.
She just didn't do that.
Peanut.
Maybe you need to put this guy in his place a bit. Because he is a bit arrogant. Hotshot female, half your age, telling you that she can design it better.
Choco done, little Saigon.
Oh, she's turned up. She's turned up here.
I'm sorry, I don't.
Oh, sorry.
Where's this gonna go?
Something to drink? Coke.
Oh, man. I don't... Every kid wants this, I know. But in the circumstances and the way that this has been brought about, I don't know what's going to come of it.
I haven't had that much Vietnamese food, to be honest. Adopted? Yeah.
Do you like Chinese food? I love it. Beef noodle soup or a pork sandwich.
Really?
Your dad's the cook?
Yeah.
I'll try the pho.
Pho?
Pho.
Pho. I've never heard of it.
Cái này viết sai rồi. Dễ như vậy mà không làm được. Cứ thế là mày.
Here's a point. Does he speak any English? I don't even know if that's him. Well, that's just the other girl's father.
Could you sit?
No, she's working.
From his mother, my grandmother.
Is she still alive?
Who knows? Dad pretty much cut off all ties when he left. Doesn't talk about family back there much. Not today, but she's alive. She's not from Vietnam, though. They met after he came to the States.
That's as much as you're gonna get. She's just trying to gain info here.
Bài số 8.
Why would he recognize you?
Confirmed. Radar shows 2 active targets.
Ride, lock weapon system to target 1.
Lock target 1.
This is not what you're meant to be trying
Lock
to
confirmed. Lock confirmed. Ready to fire.
Fox 3.
Good lock on first target.
Fire.
Fox 3.
Good target lock on both. Target's maneuvering, weapon still on track. First target destroyed. Second missile approaching. Second target destroyed.
That's a success.
Confirmed. No active targets. Yeah,
How does Ed
thanks.
feel about this? I mean, she's
Look,
not
I could
happy.
use some air.
She has expressed her misgivings about this. I trained to become an astronaut, not a fighter pilot.
So you're here.
Here I am.
Have you met my ex-husband, Gordo? Gordo, this is Vance Paulson. He's one of the leathernecks sent here to protect us from the red menace out there.
This one here, she should have been a Marine.
Oh, stop.
No, the way that she flew that bucket when we swooped in on the Russians, we came right down to the deck. So low, if there were rabbits out there, we'd have been clipping their ears.
They were hanging on the outside skids, all Tarzan-like.
Yeah,
singing Ride of the Valkyrie, Apocalypse Now style. Now,
she's
I'm hungry
loving
as a
it.
horse. I'm gonna go grab some chow.
You know what? I'm gonna do the same. You want to join? Mess hall's your old stopping ground.
Yeah.
We've a long, long way to go in this show as well yet. I don't know where we're going to end up.
Great.
How far forward we move.
Use another beer.
What was supposed to be a routine states and the Soviet Union.
God, what are you doing? Creeping up on me.
I've been standing right here.
She didn't see that. She didn't see that. She was in the peripheral already.
Told myself that every time you'd bite my head off for no reason, or every time you just sit there silently, not wanting to talk about anything.
She doesn't want to talk about it.
Because there's something going on and you need to tell me what it is.
What do you want
I want you to
say?
tell me the truth.
I don't understand why people
we'll
do
get
this.
through it.
It's your
I
husband.
don't know if we will.
You can tell him everything. It's eating you up.
I went out into that solar storm after Wobo. I did not.
And then he left.
Stay in the lava tube. I was on the surface for an hour. Maybe more.
Is that why it?
She did what she thought was right.
Called normal tension glaucoma.
At her own cost. Because you're not thinking of that in the here and now. When it's happening. She wasn't. Well, at least she came clean.
Trace.
Get in here. Get in here. Be quiet.
She's
Close the
still
door,
doing
all right?
it.
You see, then the next day, if someone smells something weird, they just think it's the food.
Oh, that's genius.
Till Jimmy sends the new stash up with a next supply run.
Jimmy? You got Jimmy sending your contraband to the moon?
He hollows out this block of stinky cheese.
That's still a little too smart.
Yeah, I really don't want to know where he picked that up.
Yeah, or he's going to become a drug dealer.
You gonna share that?
You look happy.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Turned a corner, I think.
Yeah, how so?
I don't get this because the cigarette's still burning away. There's still smoke. Whatever.
Last time I was up here, I lost it. Started seeing things, and I even tried to take my helmet off while I was outside.
You doing this now?
Danny broke her arm on purpose, Trace.
He's telling her everything.
So that Ed wouldn't have to tell Houston and send me to the nut house.
I mean, she was feeling the tension up here too, so just some idea.
I'm sorry you had to go through that alone, Gordo. I can't imagine how much worse it must have been when you were here.
Spent the last 10 years thinking about it. See, I knew that when I got home, I was moving out. That was just the beginning of the end. And I don't think I could handle it. I couldn't handle losing the most important thing in the world to me.
I mean, is that you telling her this in here and now because you want her back?
And it was all my fault. I mean, you have your moments, but...
Or is he telling the truth?
Fuck you.
Even took it upon himself to go and tell you, fella, what he's gonna do.
I just knew right then in my heart that I wouldn't ever have a happy time again until I was back with you. That's why I'm here, Trace.
Want you back?
I'm here to get you back. Hell, I even told Sam.
We know. Not something a bloke does normally.
Gordo, what did he say?
He said...
God damn it, Gordo.
Wait. He said, Tracy is like a wild horse. No one's ever gonna catch her. I think no man, woman, or beast could ever catch you. Unless you want to be God.
The Politburo has determined that the symbolism of the first handshake is important, and that it should be exactly equidistant. That's the word. Equidistant between the two spacecraft.
Really? It has to be directly centered? Lord almighty. It's like saying I don't want to crush your hand and shake your hand unless we're both standing on either side of a border.
Like that. So, all seems good, no?
No.
But the problem is that from this position, we are blocking all views from both Soyuz and the pole.
No point doing a symbol of peace if no one can see it.
No.
Okay. If one side had to host...
Moscow would prefer it be the Soviet Union.
Of course it would. So would the US.
And Washington would prefer it be Apollo.
So?
What if we just...
neutral.
Flip a coin.
What do we make it neutral ground?
That would be acceptable.
And evidently you're the cause.
Me?
What?
I didn't do anything.
Well, you must have done something. It became apparent today after a conversation with Miss Rosales that I did not have the respect of my colleagues, and therefore I am unable to continue in my position. What the hell?
No, that's being childish.
I mean, okay.
That's for attention.
I did call him Peanut.
Peanut. It slipped out. Well, that's not something you resign
I
over.
should have never told you that story. Is a valuable member of this team who has given over 20 years of loyal service to this agency.
Oops.
Convince him to come back, or
You're gone.
find yourself another job. This is what you do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stand up for myself?
No,
That's
this
why
is
you've
what
been
you
fired
do.
from
You're
every job you've
insubordinate.
ever had. Going gets rough and Aleida gets going, right? You want to blow this job, go right ahead. But if you want to be an aerospace engineer, this is the end of the road.
You should have handled it better. You should have talked to him and tried to talk to him as an equal, not humiliate him. You're aggressive, you're defensive,
Hi.
You need to do this.
Could I come in and... Wait, no. I just want to talk.
You need...
I don't want to talk
Just
to you.
for a few minutes. 5 minutes.
God damn it, I missed it. I knew it.
Whoa.
Reach and understand it. Holy crap.
Is that a real comlock from Space 1999?
Wow, I
gave a
loved
tour
that
of
show.
Mocha to Barbara Bain a few years ago, and
I'm here because I wanted to say...
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
thanks for coming by.
So,
No, we need to do
are you
that.
going to come back to work, or...
Nope. I've been dealing with this story for almost 20 years. You're barely at NASA a month. You've already heard.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
Really?
Yeah, it
March
does,
16th, 1966, Gemini
Listen.
8. That mean anything to you?
Neil Armstrong and David Scott started tumbling and spinning in orbit.
Now, I'm on console, about to go off duty. And yeah, I had to pee. And suddenly Neil is saying he's lost control of the spacecraft, and it's getting worse.
I mean...
I stayed at my post.
Yeah, he stepped up.
Even after Neil regained control. You know they had to re-enter over China? Yeah, we don't have any tracking stations in China until an Air Force pilot saw their chutes deploy over Okinawa.
See, when you get the context...
We got word that they splashed down and they were okay.
I think that's a little unfair. That it's a known story throughout their building, throughout their office, that he's the guy that peed his pants. And Margot's told the story, you know, and him making a point saying, you've only been there a month and you've heard about it already. I've been trying to get away from this as being the token clown for 20 years when no one really understands, other apart from the ones that were there on the day, the context as to why I stayed. You wouldn't call a soldier out for peeing his pants if he stayed by his post and stopped people getting killed and preventing people being killed or preventing a war or whatever, would you? Once you have the context of something, it changes the whole meaning, the whole story of things. And I'm happy that they've done this and that they've given us a full explanation from him himself as to why he did what he did, and that it's just so unfair to judge him like this.
We jumped up and we cheered. It was the first time I'd ever been part of a moment like that. And Frank Bedlow looks at me and says, Bill,
peed yourself.
Did you pee your pants?
No one would say a fucking thing
People
if you
still
just got
talk about
bladdered.
20 goddamn years later.
I
No idea.
was shot.
What?
There's still some of it in my shoulder.
Look, I don't know what you're trying to do.
Hear me out, okay? There was a time in my life where I didn't have anywhere to live. Some backyards. You know, some backyards are so big, people don't know what's going on back there anyway. But I had no money. There's this restaurant on Bryan Street that had some really good stuff, so I would go back there, and the owner would come out and he would just yell at me. You're stinking up the neighborhood, get a job. So one day I'm back there. The guy comes out, and this time he's got a gun.
That's a bit extreme.
I don't even remember getting shot.
He shoots a homeless person.
I just remember this loud noise and being on the ground and then just getting up and running. And that's when I realized that blood was soaking my shirt.
Jesus.
So
you're homeless,
I went to the emergency room and they cleaned me up.
And you're illegal.
Left.
Yeah. You wouldn't
I
go
left
anywhere.
before they got all the bird shot out. So I still have a lot of it in there. So I don't wear any tank tops or bathing suits or halter tops or any of that shit.
Because you've got scars.
Nobody gets to see that. I have my own shame, Bill. And believe me when I say that I'm really sorry. I made you feel yours all over again.
Like that. That was actually not a bad thing to do there. Not a bad story to give him there with your own experience.
We can move on. We don't have to keep talking about it.
Right.
I am very impressed and I applaud her because she's been such a strength in this show that she'd still continue to have that strength there.
Yeah, I know we're supposed to forget about what happened, but I can't.
Well, you should.
I just keep thinking about it. Your lips. All I can do is think about holding you in my arms.
Stop talking.
Stop it. Oh, for the love of God, I was just praising her. We get too caught up in our emotions, don't we?
You really gonna sell this place? First day I ever came here. Day you had the grand opening.
Your taps wouldn't work, the toilets overflowed. It was a mess, but fun.
Oh, he's got really bad nails.
So is it just not
fun anymore.
People love it, though. They do. They come in here and they look at the space pictures. They look around like, there are any astronauts in here. Yeah, I swear I could sell actual crap. You know, just a Ziploc bag filled with it if I said it.
Yeah, you probably could.
Don't doubt it. Buying some goofy trinket is the closest they'll ever come to the real thing. I love you, Karen.
For God's sake, don't do this.
Okay, let's just...
Yeah, let's back it up a bit.
Get a grip here. No.
Dude, you're half her age.
What? No, that's not what this is.
No, that's not what to be
no.
The academy. We can find a place to live in the city.
What?
This is precisely why I said she shouldn't do it. She should have seen. You're an older woman. You're married. You're experienced. You've had kids. You know. You've been in love. You know what it's all about. He's a young lad. It's his first true experience, and you know how hard people fall. You never really love again quite like you do with your first love. Whether that's the person you married or it's just faded into a distant memory of just somebody that you fell for many, many years ago. For most of us. But you should have recognised the signs that he's ready to just dive straight in here. Oh, leave your husband, leave it all behind. We'll get our own place. We'll move away. You're like, no, I know what this was for you. This isn't what it was for him. Now, you've created a right problem.
I mean, I know I wanted it, and I needed it, and so I did it.
And I wish I
hadn't.
hadn't.
It was great. You are great.
I just hope he doesn't.
But it's over.
I just hope he doesn't turn
it's
on
over.
you.
It doesn't have to be. Yes, it does.
Why?
Because I said so, okay? You should leave out the back door, all right? Just lock it behind you like you're the last one that was here, and I'll leave later on. You leave for the academy at the end of the week anyway. Don't worry. I'll get you your last week's paycheck.
I don't care about any of that.
I don't seem being vindictive with this. However, I will say this. I'm not judging all by this, but if you turned that round and that was the man that was older and it was a young girl and you did this to a girl, she'd be like, I'm going to go and tell your wife. But Karen, you should have seen the signs here. Especially when they're falling for you.
You ready for some steak time?
Roger that. Man, she does not respond like she used to.
Careful, careful.
Backs to their upright and locked positions.
Next mining crew is set to arrive at 11:30 hours to start.
I don't see movement anywhere up there. Wait.
There it is.
Got it. Webster, Lopez?
This could have happened at any point.
We've got unfriendlies on the ridge over 357 Bravo.
For them to be unfriendlies, but can we just double check?
Copy that. Approach with caution.
Heads up, eyes open. Clear on the right.
And if it really is the Russians,
Roger left.
must have been in their arm too.
Gotcha, taking left flank. Still nothing. What do you got? I see 2 cosmonauts working on some kind of equipment. Houston, your call.
Maya 1, switch to Russian communication frequency and...
No idea, no one realize.
Immediately.
You've no idea they're there. Do you know how to translate what they're saying? We're backing off here, what's going on? What's in there? Oh man, please do. Oh, fucking hell, we need to be careful here. Oh, shit. Oh, you shouldn't have fired yet. You've no confirmation. It doesn't even look like anything's happened. What the fuck? Why is his face on fire?
Breathe, buddy. Breathe. You're gonna be okay.
I say again, Mardet 1.
Well, he's dead.
Status update.
Mardet actual. Site is secure. We have 2 enemy casualties. 1 dead, 1 wounded.
Shit, just heard the phone. What were they reaching for? I need to know.
There are no weapons.
So what were they reaching for?
Fucked up, didn't we? Okay, guys, episode 8. Remember when I was saying at the start of this episode that everything can proceed because, as far as the United States is concerned and the world is concerned, we've got the moral high ground here. We're not the ones that did anything wrong. That just changed. That just changed. Unfortunately, when you put weapons into the mix and you put them in the hands of these Marines up here that are not used to this proving ground, they're used to fighting an enemy on Earth the normal way and knowing who the enemy is and why you're fighting them. It's a whole different set of circumstances up here. And you saw him reaching into the case. You just fired. You are the one to blame. You didn't get any confirmation. What it showed they've got there, that card, is what they were reaching for. I'm presuming that was them being able to communicate back with you. And it had both flags on it. You just created a situation now where that moral high ground has gone. And you and I don't know different. They weren't armed. They weren't trying to be armed. Without seeing the next episode, I don't know what's going to happen, what's going to come of that. That was a really, really good episode. We've got Gordo back up there. He seems to be handling things pretty well. He's given Tracy the entire lowdown as to what he went through, because he never did tell her, and attributing it to why he lost it up here. I don't think is the reasons why he said. He was saying that because he's trying to get it back, and then rounded that off and finished that off with it by saying, I even went and told your boyfriend, I'm getting you back. He's handled everything so far, but obviously the shit's hit the fan up there right now. Now, as regards what happened with our guy here, I don't know his name, the guy who peed himself. That got out of control fast, but at least she had the decency and the common sense to at least try and to turn up at his home the way that she did and try to reach some sort of understanding. And he's told his story. She's told her story. I have a feeling they're actually going to become friends because of it. But not the right thing for him to quit over. I kind of understood now, because initially I was like, oh, come on, you don't resign over that. That's being a bit pig-headed and a bit, oh, woe is me, and looking for attention. But then I was guilty of what she was guilty of. Not having the context, not having the story, not having the understanding as to that's just what happened at the very end. You don't know anything that preceded that as to why I allowed myself to be embarrassed at that happening, because I was trying to save people's lives in the heat of the moment, and I refused to leave my post. And I've been called on it for 20 years. Totally and utterly unfair. Now then, don't even get me started with what she's just done and slept with him. Karen, honestly. She'd walked away from it. I pretty much said it all in the episode. I hope nothing comes of that. I hope Ed never gets wind of it. I hope he doesn't become so enamoured that refuses to leave. I mean, he could. But I hope he doesn't. I'm more interested now in the next episode with what this is going to mean. Because we knew the minute you put weapons up here, something was going to go wrong. You'd have met no resistance, And the fact that you'd met no resistance, I feel like you should have had someone more in a commanding role here, which you should have anyway. There should be one person in sergeant or whatever is in charge here that goes, we verify first before anybody, don't nobody fire nothing. And it was so weird. I can't remember another show where we've got it like this, where it's on the moon and it's weapons that have been redesigned to work in zero G, and seen weapons fired at a person and there's just nothing. It's just total silence. And even the projectiles you could see, because obviously the velocity is different. It was so weird. It felt like you'd got the sound turned down. This show's really good. I'm really enjoying this show. As I mentioned in commentary, we've got a long way to go yet. We're only on season 2 and there's another 2 seasons and there's a 5th season coming very soon. That's already been confirmed. So we got a long show and I don't know how many more decades we're going to keep moving forward. What I will say is what we didn't go back to in this episode was Ellen thinking that she's going to turn down Mr. Ronald Reagan in his offer of making her a permanent administrator to NASA because of her personal life. I really think that she should stop her, but we'll wait and see. And then we have Molly finding out what she is suffering with and that it is eventually going to lead to complete blindness, and finally coming clean with her husband because he's known something's been wrong for such a long time and she's just been holding it all in. You've got a very dark realization in future as to where your life is headed. And because what caused it was the radiation, I'm not even sure that that's going to be the only symptom that she's going to get. She could start to get other bodily symptoms before she ends up blind or even remotely or partially blind. Her career is coming to a close and she is not dealing with it, not coping with it. For a moment there in the jet, I thought she was just going to check out. She almost did, trying to reach for the moon. She did it to save someone's life. They're no longer at NASA. I forgot the guy's name now, but you chose to do it when you chose to do it. You chose as a human being to save another human being, knowing that that could substantially curtail your life by doing so. Now you have to live with it. Right. I don't know what else to say. It's been a long episode, so I won't keep you guys too long. We'll talk more in the next one. By all means, post your comments down below. If you are watching this on YouTube, and it's further down the line, this series was initially on Patreon, isn't it? Early access. If you're watching on YouTube, I would appreciate for you to put your comments down below. Please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe, and if you do want to watch the one in full length, Patreon is your place to be. Check the link in the description. Okay, guys, I will be back with episode 9 next week. Until then, I will leave you with this parting thought. What if, with what's happened at the end there, that this turns completely on its head now, and America becomes the bad guy, and Russia is what the world starts to look towards? I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I'll see you for the next one. Take care.